depth was about 39 degrees. Depths in the area of 200 feet. From about 4 stories up, I could look down and see the bow of a huge ship. Sometimes you'll see the camera point up and it's me looking at my dive computer, seeing how much gas I have, depth. I leveled off about 10 feet off the deck of the ship. I knew it was a big ship. Visibility was about 50, 60 feet. My plan was just to do a bounce dive and see if I could see the arches. There was no current down there. There's never been any current on this wreck site. It sits in a hole surrounded by cliff walls, and it keeps it away from the current, which might lend to the condition it's in. Things were pretty stable at the bow, so I decided to go back a little further and see if I could see arches. There's a broken mast down here, about as big around as a telephone pole. I could see the deck was collapsed. From about where the pilot house was on back, the passenger deck was collapsed down onto the cargo deck. Ooh, I got excited when I saw that. Those arches are about 10 or 12 feet high. Collapsed. I wanted to get a good shot of the arches so I could analyze it later. I didn't know what that was. If that was a rope or a chain left by maybe previous divers, I didn't know. But it was a pipe that held, was a brace between the two arches. There's a stanchion right there for the smokestack. This deck should be horizontal, but it's collapsed down vertical. I decided to go back to the stern. Visibility was good, again, no current. And I wanted to check on the engine and boiler. I knew there was something from the sonar images on the stern. And there's the lifeboat damage. Remember the story that the large boat was caught in the lifeboat davit and it flipped and killed the 15 people? And right there, the base of the smokestack, so the boiler's under there. And the engine cylinder head, I could see under some collapsed cabin on there. So I got a little bit of an eerie feeling knowing that the last 15 people to see this died right at this spot. This far back, I decided to go all the way to the stern. And out of the gloom appeared the auxiliary helm. A perfectly intact 4-foot ship's wheel. And when I saw that, one word popped in my head: virgin. Because if any of those earlier guys had dove this wreck, they would have cut that wheel off and that would have been in their living room. Plus I knew that they didn't have the dive technology to get down to this depth in the 1870s.